Oh, there I am. It's new, folks. Welcome. Hi, my name is Brett Kay, and I'm with Inside Real Estate, and you are here. It's the CRM of choice, and you're making some decisions. The session is recorded. You'll be have access to the recording, but we're here to talk about BoldTrail. One thing I'd like to preface for everyone here is that we're not going to do side-by-side comparisons of your choices here. I'm going to focus on questions that you have for the platform and what it can do for you. So I'll thank you all for that. And with that, let's get into it. So objectives today here at BoldTrail, and when you hear Inside Real Estate, that's the company. BoldTrail, that's our flagship enterprise platform. And I know a lot of stuff happened today, right? A lot of you might have seen this for the first time. I understand that. You know, there's been a transition from KV Core to BoldTrail. What's the difference? We're not here to talk about differences because there aren't any, other than the fact that it's faster, easier to navigate. Oh, what's going on here? Sorry, everyone. I'm hearing my recording in my ear. Hold on one sec. Can you help me out here at EXP? I'm hearing myself recording what I just said.
Brandon, do you have World on the audio? You
Yeah,
might want to turn off the audio in World.
there it is. Sorry. Oh, it's there we go. Sorry, everyone. Okay, hold on. It won't. it's- I just got rid of it. There we go. That'll help. Okay, everybody. Sorry about that. Whoopsie daisy. Hopefully, we're all good here. So, objective wise, when we think about Bold Trail, you think about KB Core. No, you don't have to relearn everything. No, you do not. Okay. Think of it as just a redesign, an evolution. We're going to talk about the client journey, and that's how we organize and categorize people in the system. And this will set you up for success. These are the things we need to know. So we're going to focus on how to organize your contacts. So Ben with KB Core, great. We love you. Now you're on Bold Trail. It should have been a seamless. You don't have to change anything. The only thing that you have to change is downloading the mobile app. You do need to re-download the mobile app. Other than that, everything should have been straightforward, straight over. Here you go. Let's make some money and sell some houses. Okay. So when we think about it, what I'd like to do is introduce the concept of contact statuses here in the platform. It is here too fast. There we go. Let me go back on this one. One more. There it is. We base these on this concept, these four stages of the client journey, if you will. So step back for a second. You know, they're aware of you, they're considering you, they decide on you, now they're with you. These stages are all linked to the statuses in the platform. Now, the automation, search alerts, summary area market reports, smart drip campaigns are all wrapped around this consideration. What is the status? In awareness, we're calling that a new lead or a prospect. Anybody that signs up on my website, they're a new lead. Anybody that I add that I don't know what they are is a prospect. We have campaigns for both of these. They're out there, they're searching. I mean, heck, folks, 6 to 24 months is their time to make a decision. We need a nurturing tool to help them get there. Now, are there exceptions? Of course there are. Of course there are exceptions. But we have campaigns to help nurture and follow up with those. This is top the funnel. We just met them. We generated the lead. We paid for it. We did it through, a referral, someone we know. Now, when we get to the center and the consideration part, what are my options? What are my options here? I'm looking at, as you are right now, actually, and if you wanted to compare it that way from a consumer, you're like, well, which one should I use? The one that makes the most sense to you is what I'm going to say. So please don't ask, why should I use this one over that one? I'm going to allow you, encourage you to make that decision based on the information that you have. But at this stage in the game, I'm thinking about you. I'm going to your website, all right? I'm spending some months checking some stuff out. We call this active, new lead, and prospect. There are only 7 statuses, folks. And don't get hung up on the definitions. We'll get into there in a minute. This is to set a high-level stage, a high-level vision. Okay, just get you familiar with these concepts. New lead, it's active, it's a prospect. I'm starting my search. I'm thinking about you. Should I use you? Should I use this other person? I don't know. Then I make a decision. In these stages, we call that either client or contract, which again, think about this. We have smart drip campaigns for each of these statuses. Okay, so I made a decision. I'm going to work with you. Okay, I'm searching on your website. Fantastic. We got automation for all of it. Easy, easy stuff, folks. I got you. We wrote a contract. You are now my client. Thank the Lord and God bless y'all. Okay, this can be a bit of time, but when we import and think of categorizing our people, the SOI means sphere of influence. Who's that? People you know, past clients, friends, family. They may or may not be a real estate opportunity in this stage. They could be, and most likely they will be at some point if you continue to follow up. We call these closed in sphere. You know, we use the closed status if you actually closed them using this platform, right? So if I'm in the platform and I'm looking at a good old lead over here, right? You should be seeing my screen right now. I'm looking at a contact record, right? I'm an active lead. I'm a new lead. I'm a client. I'm a contract. You're deciding when these stages exist. Closed and sphere. We have campaigns for all of that. We even have behavioral automation. You know what behavioral automation is? Someone comes to your website. They're registered. They agree to receive property updates from you. They save a property as a favorite. We alert you. We say, hey, Brett, Kelly over here just saved a property as a favorite. We're going to engage Kelly based on that behavior and that property type. And that's why the system can convert at 5 and 10 times the rate of any other system, because we're engaging at the right time with the right moment. The way that we do in this system to make it easy. So for those of you that had KV Core and now I'm on BoldTrail, I'm like, what do I do? The same thing you've been doing. Log in every day, reach out to every single person you know, and generate new opportunities every single day. The same thing we talked about with the core. Okay, that's based on status. It's a prospect. It's based on deal type. It's a buyer. Hashtags is whatever you want it to be. You're a new lead. You're a 1 to 3 months. You're pre-approved. You are a cash buyer. You have an FHA loan. You want a pool, a single story, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and then where it came from. So when we think about status, and this is important, this will help all of you if you're importing leads. Pardon me. Importing contacts, call them leads, call them contacts, let's call them people. These are the 7 statuses to be concerned about. You know, if you're importing, we need to know what stage they're in. I have a campaign for sphere, a campaign for prospect, a campaign for new lead, keeping in mind the idea of buyer and seller along the way. That's the sphere. Past clients, people you know. Remember, with hashtags, you can call somebody exactly what they are. Even if you say, well, it's a sphere, it's not really a buyer or a seller, but maybe you call it both and give it a hashtag exactly what it is. And that's how you do this for yourself. You know, prospect, you don't know. You hope so. I have an email. I have a phone number. I don't know what the world's going on with you, but that's why I start reaching out to you to find out and see if I can convert you to an active lead. A new lead is anybody that signed up on your website. And this is let's say categorized automatically. Categorized automatically. Anybody that signs up on your website is considered a new lead. When I respond in some way, I'm considered active. Okay, when I can respond in some way, I'm considered active. I move to client. What does that mean? You had them sign the representation agreement. You're showing them properties. You're my person. Okay, I'm working with you. Every stage that you're clicking on, it's literally dropping the old campaign and adding the new campaign along the way. It's that easy. You don't even need to think about it. It's done for you. You'll be aware of all communications. You've downloaded the mobile app, right? You've imported everybody you know into the system. You've categorized them based on this concept, and that's why we're talking about it, of status type and hashtag. We signed an offer. We wrote an offer. Fantastic. Or if on the listing side, a buyer sold an offer. You're in contract phase. Drops the old, adds the new. We closed you. We have a year-long campaign already built for you. Can you change them? Yeah. Is it easy? Absolutely. You can change any of our messages, but they've all been tested, best practices, optimized. What do you do when you want to get rid of somebody? Well, something to note, and I'll save you a little time. If the company, your office, gave you a lead, you won't be able to delete it. If you imported it, if you generated it, if it signed up on your website, of course you can delete it. I don't recommend that you ever delete a lead. People's change their minds all the time. Their situation, their business situations, their professional situations change all the time. I prefer to archive them. And that turns off all communication. So if you don't want to see them anymore, you can click a quick archive, get them out. If it's your lead, you can delete it. Now, as we just talked about with the status, I can only be one status at a time. I can only be a new lead or a prospect or a client, etc. Now, I can be multiple types. I could be a buyer and a seller. Technically, I could be a buyer, a seller, and a renter. Technically, I could be actually all of these. You can be one or all, but we need to have at least one. You know, if you're in the situation where you're adding a contact and you're like, well, you know, it's not really a buyer or a seller, then call them both and give it a hashtag exactly what they are. You know, vendors, home inspectors, could be mortgage, foundation, windows, staging. And then agents are exactly what you think. That's actual, you know, real estate agents. That's their type. Okay, this helps us organize our system. If number one, we have the status, you're a new lead, you're a prospect, then second, I'm a buyer, I'm a seller. And here's where you come in. And this is a good example that I want you all to consider. Patio furniture. Kind of funny, right? Thank you, Kelly. That's my director. Kind of funny lead to think about. But using this as an example, when we think about hashtags, it can be anything. Hashtags are only seen by you. It's how you customize the system in a way that makes sense for you. You're like, well, they're not a buyer or a seller, and I don't really like the sphere thing. There's something else. Then hashtag them. You know, geo farming list. You just don't use spaces. A friend of family, VIP past client, newsletter. Someone I got from a newsletter I sent out. Could be pre-approved. Likes horses. Single story with a pool, right? This helps you categorize. So hashtags are where you come in. No one sees them except you. Over time, you'll build your own library of your own hashtags, right? You're creating your own category. So if you don't agree with sphere and you don't agree with buyer seller and you say, well, but nah, you can be anything you want. Just don't use spaces. And at this stage in the game, folks, you don't even need the hashtag symbol. Just don't use spaces. It could be one word. It could be a paragraph if you really wanted to. Making sense to everybody? I mean, this is the answer to how you categorize and organize the system in a way that makes sense to you. And hashtags have power here in BoldTrail. Okay? I can kick off campaigns, kick off some search alerts. Okay? They can do a lot of things, the hashtags. So the better you hashtag, the better your experience, the more effective and profitable, my hope, your experience will be with the platform. When in doubt, hashtag it out. Don't have to worry about cap sensitive, case sensitive. It does need to be all one word. You don't need the hashtag symbol when you create them. And then where it came from. Why should you care? Why is this important? Well, folks, when you start doing your own, and we're going to start this tomorrow, just so you know, is a little, tease. Let's say we're going to start doing some follow-ups on Thursday. the day after today, we're going to do some focused best practices, focusing on some topics, doing an Ask Me Anything. It's still kind of in flux of exactly what it'll be, but I'll share some info with you. But my point is, we're going to teach you how to generate leads. Will be one of our classes that we do, I promise you. So that will be coming tomorrow, more info to come. But source is saying, where did it come from? If I'm spending all my time trying to generate leads on Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and X, and I'm getting all my efforts, all my leads from X, well, then maybe I should focus on X and rethink what I'm doing on the other points. And if you're paying for it, we're going to let you know. This lead came in through your paid efforts. This lead came in through the direct website. This lead came in on 8/11/2021, 19 days ago, and they were active on your website 19 days ago. If they had clicked in San Diego, oh, this one's Vista, California, then I'll know where that is. It looks like the 2-bed, 1-bath. You get the idea? So the source can also be a way to think about how your system is categorized. Now, when we look at the contact record, folks, I'm sure every single one of you would agree it's the most important thing. We talk about search alerts and drip campaigns and behavioral automation and all this fancy stuff. Everyone's just people we're putting into our system. We're trying to follow up with them to hit them at the right time so they work with us to help them buy our list. Okay? In your contact record, the timeline shows you absolutely every single part of communication that's ever happened. On the left, all the info, your email, your name, when you signed up, if you clicked on any properties. On the right, actions, options, search alerts, drip campaigns, market reports, send a text, send an email. Middle, history, everything that ever happened, considering that client journey too. Right? It's super easy. Hopefully, after you get familiar with this, you know, every property you clicked on, folks, we're even letting you know if they opened an email and or clicked on it. Who do I focus on? Show me everybody that opened my email. Okay, I'm going to start with that guy or that gal. You know what I mean? When you're looking on the left, this is the info, right? I can see, oh, it's a buyer. His name is Brett. We even give it a predictive score, folks. You want to have your mind blown? When someone signs up on your website, we give them a 5-star, 1 to 5-star predictive score based on behavior, contact information, and over time, this will adjust. Yeah. So let's say that they go on vacation for 2 months and they don't come back to your website for a month. We're going to drop a star. Let's say they come back and they start looking at a ton of properties and they reach out to you. We give 2 more stars. So you can filter your database based on this predictive score based on behavior. Is that not a mind blower? Now, granted, they have to, sign up on your website for this stuff to kick in, but we also validate their email. Are they using it on Facebook? Are they using it on LinkedIn? Okay, you can share leads, transfer leads, left, info, timeline, center, everything. Emails clicked, emails opened, emails sent, text sent, responses to each. This can all be viewed on your mobile app too. So I can say, okay, Brett sent me an email. He responded to my text. He opened up the email that I just sent with all the property information from the areas we discussed. I can make a note. And then over on the right, actions. Send an email, send a text, set an appointment, put on a search alert, put on a drip campaign. It's all here on the right. So if we get in, let's take a peek. Let's look at a contact record. And what I'd like to do is have you all create your own contact on your own. This is the best way to learn, folks. I could sit here and tell you, oh, do this, do that, and here's this and that and the other. But truly, let's create a contact. 2 ways you can do it. Sign up on your own website or just add a contact from any screen. Is that not the most important thing we're talking about here today, friends? Contacts, people, right? Relationships with people. They want to buy or list a property, and we're going to help them do it. This is easy. So add contact is on any screen, anywhere up top center, add contact. You could also go to your website. So if you clicked on your avatar in the upper right from any screen and you come down to the 4th choice, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's your website. Now, when you're doing testing, friends, I'd ask you to please, number 1, not ever use the email that you log in with. I'd ask you to use a real email. just not the one you log in with, because that's the one we use to communicate with you. Does that make sense? Same for your phone number. Anything else goes, just not that one. Sign in. I'm looking in San Diego. I'm looking in wherever you're at. Show me all the properties. Sign in. That's one way. Or we're going to add it manually, which is what I'm going to show you here today. So go to your website, pick your property, click on a property. You have to click a few times because this is giving them a passive kind of lead capture strategy. Click once. Okay. Click twice. Okay. Give me your email to continue. Or I add you right on the fly. Now, I could go over to contact. Sure, I can add a contact from here, which, by the way, for those of you that have been using Core, check this out. This new Vitals, you're going to have some variation of this. Okay. It's going to be saying, hey, you have tasks. People's waiting for a response. You have a new lead. You haven't responded. You have some folks not on a campaign. Mind blower. Okay. Mind blower over here. But if I wanted to add a contact, put in your contact. Let's do it together. So you put in your contact. Call this Bold Agent 4. You put an email. I would use a real one. This is bogus, but I want you to put in a real one, just not the one you log in with me. Cell phone, yeah. If you have another number you can use, put it in, just not the one that is your real one. You have to enable permission to contact. This is a law for compliance, folks. And you might say, well, wait, excuse me. I've never spoken with this person. How would I know if I have permission to call, text, or email? And the answer is, just like our real estate agency with our clients, when is it implied versus expressly given, the relationship? Same idea applies here. We're going to assume that we do until we don't. They can unsubscribe anytime. You're not going to be able to call them if you say no. You're not going to be able to text them if you say no. You get the idea? We have unsubscribe options all over the place, part of the game. I would put in their address. Or your address might be a better, so you can see how it displays on the leads record, right? We can send valuations based on this. So if let's say where someone lives, but they're not looking to list right now. They're happy where they're at, but hey, that could change tomorrow. We can send monthly valuations. Okay, here we go. Here it is. Step 1, what is the lead type? We just spoke about this. Now this should all be sinking into place. There is a type. This is how the whole system works, friends. Campaigns based on type, status, and hashtag if you want to. Let's use our example as a buyer, if you're all following along. What's my status? Let's call you a new lead. When I click down, remember, you've seen them. Sphere, prospect, new lead, active client, contract, and close. For our example, I'm recommending you do a new lead. So let's do a new lead buyer. Someone that signs up on your website is considered a new lead buyer or a new lead seller, period. That's it. Well, they could be a renter, I suppose, depending on your market. I know some folks in Chicago I've worked at that have very lucrative rental market situations, but where I'm at, buyer or seller typically, right? So if I'm looking at how much is my home worth, I come in as a new lead seller. If I'm saying anything else, I'm going to be a buyer. I hit the system, I'm a new lead. In this example, a buyer. Now the lead source, remember we just talked about these. Lead type, lead status, lead source, manual add. What is that? That means I manually added it. You might say, well, maybe I'm adding a lead, but it actually comes from Zillow. No problem. We'll give it a hashtag, but you're manually adding it. I don't care where it came from. That's what you're doing here. Now, if you've integrated leads in some format, like maybe you're paying for them or something, we'll identify the source for you. But in this case, you're adding it. You're manually adding it. Is everybody with me? Hopefully. I know I have my colleague Delaney's helping me out here, and God bless her to help me out. So I'm not in the questions. So I'm hoping everything's doing all right out there. But I have a buyer. I have a new lead. I have a manual ad. I'm the owner. Let's keep going. Now, smart campaign. I've heard this twice in 2 days, folks. It's like, I sent something out or I added somebody and then they started getting stuff and I don't know what's going on or what they're getting sent. Folks, you decide if a campaign goes on or not. Period. You can change it. Now, if I picked a new lead buyer, what campaign do you think I might choose? If you said a buyer, you'd be correct. If it was a seller, I'd pick a seller. Now, if you want to review those, that'll be a class for another day, okay, over in our marketing section. My point here is to you to get familiar how this works. We keep it simple as possible. And if you're doing a test lead, which is what I recommend you do, test yourself, just not the email you log in with, you'll see what those messages say. You're going to get a task and a call request as an agent that happens in the system. You'll get an email that says, hey, you got to do these things. On the main dashboard, when you first log in, you're going to see your daily calls and tasks. On your mobile app, you're going to see your daily calls and tasks. Daily calls and tasks related to smart campaigns. I'm not talking lenders right now. I'll leave that to your each individual office, what your rules, regulations, compliances are for that. Yes, it's possible. But notes. Okay, let's say that I know that you're you want a single story. This is one that was real with no front step. You know how hard that was to find? Actually impossible. I could not find one. Wants pool, big backyard. Now I can add this note, but I can't search on any of this stuff. You just got a listing with the pool. You want to find this person. Can you search on notes? No. You can use hashtags. So this is the only time you'll have to use the hashtag symbol, because if you remember, I said you don't need hashtags when I'm on the lead's record. Remember, if I'm just talking to this lead and this lead tells me, oh, hey, I'm looking to buy in 1, 2, 3 months, I tag you. Done. Okay, now you're in my 1 to 3 months. You want a pool? Great. Tag. Boom. Now you're in my pool. I know that you want a pool, and I can search for you. Make sense? So I could rewrite this, say hashtag, and again, this is the only time that you actually have to use the hashtag symbol is when you're creating a contact for the first time. If the contact's already created, you don't need to ever do this again. But now I might say single story. Now I can search, show me everybody that has the hashtag single story, because I just got a property with single story. Now I want to do all of this stuff, so all you do is comma, no space, hashtag symbol again, no front step. Everybody with me? Comma, no space, hashtag symbol, pool. Comma, no space, hashtag symbol, big back yard. So when I add this contact, now those are all filterable and searchable things. So what I'd ask you to do when you add this contact, there they are. There's my person. I just added them. They're a new lead. They're a buyer. I gave them single story, no front step, pool, backyard. They should be there. Where are they? There they are. Big backyard, pool, no front step. So I can search over in my contacts, show me everybody that has the hashtag pool. Easy way to share listings or contact the people you want. All these people have the hashtag pool. I have 71 people. You can see I use it as an example a lot, right? But that's the idea, that I'm categorizing it in a way that makes sense to me. Okay, and I can quickly contact you, email, text you right from my laptop or my mobile app. If I wanted to call you right now, I could, using my smart number. Boom. Hello. Text, same. Email, same. Yeah, you can see this is a bogus lead, and it will tell you that. I mean, that's a good thing, right? So yeah, this is actually not a cell phone. That's a landline. This isn't going to work for texting. I could still email him, but I might not be able to text him. So we just created our own lead. So all you got to do now is this, folks. Automate, 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 and stop their search. Natalie's been saying it on her meetings, one of my colleagues that we did on Monday. Stop their search. What does that mean? It means stop the search from wherever they're looking at right now and get them on your website. How do we do that? Search alerts, drip campaigns, and market reports. So with your test, what I'd recommend you all to do here today, is set up a search alert. Make sure you have a drip campaign, which you should, because we just put it on. Remember, if you followed along with me, then that means that you just went ahead and attached that default buyer campaign when you added that lead. So that one should be on the right-hand side. Now, search alerts, you tell me, you know your market. You can set 5 per contact, folks, 5 separate search alerts. I can customize subject lines. Brett's Dream Homes. I can copy a CC, a spouse partner. I can set my frequency, ASAP, daily, once a week. I pick my area, just like you'd expect, right? County, city, area, neighborhood. I could do a polygon. And again, you can do 5 separate per contact. We have a geographical area, which is a proprietary, we use latitude and longitude for mapping. Maybe hard to find neighborhoods or school districts, for example. Maybe I only want single family. If you don't want rentals, then you need to say what you do want. So you set up the search alert, right? Maybe you put in a price range, bed, bath, half bath, square foot, acreage, year built. Maybe I only want just listed. Maybe I only want open houses. Maybe I want to add a keyword, HOA, for example, right? You pick the option on the left, you're going to get an option on the right. So I'm going to see HOA fees. Maybe it's a patio. Maybe it's a porch, right? No, I don't want it more than $100. You could add multiple keywords. Okay. You set your alert. There you are. Step 1, homework done. Almost third of the way. So now you have it set up on a search alert. You have it set up on a campaign. You're setting it to yourself because this is how you're going to learn how the system, communicates with you and with your contacts. And what I'd ask you to do is when you get that email that says, here are your properties in San Diego in this price range, that you actually click on them and you save it as a favorite, or yes, save it. Because I want you to see what happens when that happens. It'll blow your mind, right? You're going to get a message. They're going to get a message. I just got one actually as a test. Your lead just signed up. Yep, there it is. Right? They just saved this property. Wouldn't you like to know that? I mean, timing is everything in this market. We all know that people work with the first agent that they make it, have a meaningful conversation with. So now we set up a search alert. We set up a campaign. The final is the market report. What's a market report, you ask? When you're on your website, if you're looking in a particular area, you're going to get what's called the complimentary market report from your website. What this is a summary of a particular area. In this example, oh my gosh. In Los Angeles, California, as of today, right now, this minute, there are 37,000 homes for sale. Good Lord. Up 2.4% from last month. I don't have an average for listings, but I do have an average for solds at 1.4 mil. Okay, so this is an idea or an example of a market report, real deal. So you're going to set that up too. You're going to search for your location. Maybe I want it to be Los Angeles. Right? I send the frequency. I add. Now you're done, folks. And I'm going to stop right there for a moment. I want you all to think about what we just did. It was a whirlwind. This is, for a lot of you, probably the first time that you've ever seen this platform. You've been using KV Core, or maybe today's your first day. What I want you to point out is, number 1, you have self-paced training available to you through the Agent Quick Start when you first log in that's self-paced, and we have live coaching. 2, you have exclusive training today and tomorrow that's going to be more in-depth, a little more focused. Maybe you might call it a little more advanced. But you have that too. So you have a couple options. You have live chat every single day, business hours, okay, in that lower right-hand corner. So I want to point that out to everybody. Your mission here, as you're using this, is you don't have to relearn everything you've done. There's just a bit of, navigation. It's a little different. It's easier here on the left. But the big thing to take away, if you've been a KV Core user and now you're a BoldTrail user, is upstairs, up top, up left, you can search for anything up here. So if I'm looking for your name, your email, an MLS ID, an address, listings, marketing, web and IDX, vitals, type it up here and you will get it. Okay? And that's a biggie. It's really quick for you to find whatever you're looking for. So far, so good, everybody? Well, that's pretty much what I wanted to show you here today, to make the focus to be on that you've created a contact. To understand the automation, you assign a search alert, a market report, and a drip campaign. and let it ride and click on those emails, and you're going to understand how it works quite quickly. Okay. Now, tomorrow, let me share this with everybody. This is what's going on. It's a 2-hour webinar, folks. The first one, we're going to have Natalie and Jack are going to talk about advantages and the experience. And then I'm going to go deeper in the second hour. If you want to register for this, this is happening starting tomorrow. I'm going to, let me see, how can I put this in the chat? Bear with me 2 seconds here, folks. I'm going to jump back into EXP world. Give me 2, stand by. And what I'd like to do is, stand by. What we're going to do here is, I'm going to share that with you in the chat of EXP world, okay? Give me 2 secs. Pretty exciting stuff though, right? And this is all at, here we go, copy link. I'm almost there. There it is. I'm jumping in. There it is. I'm almost there. Stand by, everybody. And it is right here. There we go. It should be sharing. Give me 2 secs. There we go. Okay, back in business. And here is the link. Sorry, it's looking a little weird here. Oh, thanks, Delaney. Delaney's saving my butt. I'll tell you right there. I couldn't do it without her. Stand by. There it is. If you want to sign up for tomorrow's session. We'll be hosting this one again every Wednesday till the end of time, most likely. Let me see. Okay, we're sharing, looking good. Folks, that's all I have for you here. I'm going to keep this one simple. I'm going to keep this one sweet. We've talked about adding a contact. This is how the whole system works, wrapped around it's your people, right? It's your people. We have status, we have type, buyer, seller, and we have hashtags. That's whatever you want. We all created a lead together. We're going to throw on a smart campaign, a search alert, and a market report. And that is the basics of getting started, folks. There's a lot of other stuff we can do, but I can tell you it's really a 3-part success formula. Get your people in. Well, 4. Get your people in. Import. We'll do it for you. Reach out to all those people. Follow up with all those people. Generate new people. Repeat. That's it. You have the tools to do this here, folks. Come join me tomorrow and Jack and Natalie. Thursday, I'm not exactly sure what we're going to get in tomorrow. I'm thinking maybe a smart number, maybe some lead gen. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But come join me next Wednesday if you want to hear more. This will be kind of a repeat of getting started. What do I do with this thing? Get them in, follow up, generate new people. That's what we're doing here, folks. And I'm going to wrap it right there. Stand by. Make sure I got. Oh, yeah. Forgot about this. This is happening. Hopefully you can all see my screen right now. You can win some gift cards just by boosting a property. What in the world is property boost? You can boost an individual property. Yes, you will have to pay for it. It's about $60. You boost an individual listing. If you don't have one, get permission from the listing agent. They're agent branded, agent specific. I mean, most leads are less than $10. You can't quote me on that, but that's usually where I see it. A lead, you get about 10 to 12 typically, and you might win a gift card. So go boost your property. It's so easy to do. It's a no-brainer. You don't have to commit to anything. I'm hoping that you do that, and I hope you win the $200 Amazon gift card. There's 3 of you that are win. So with that, come join me tomorrow. Let's see, what was it? It was on 11 a.m. Pacific, folks, is when this is happening. So we're going to talk the first half, stuff that's coming. Second half, we're going to get into it. Okay? Jack, he knows his stuff. I'd like to think I know some stuff, but I'm here to help you as well. So I'll thank everybody. And if there's some question that you didn't get answered, well, that's what we're here for. And we're going to continue to support you. You have live chats 7 days a week. We have live webinars every single day. Well, Monday through Thursday. Knowledge base, articles. Come get some. Okay? Come get some. This is built for you. But let's be honest. Okay? You have to be accountable, folks. Whatever way you decide to go. Because I know there's some fantastic products out there. You have some other options for. So whatever makes the most sense to you, I encourage you to follow your instinct with that. You come along with us on the BoldTrail ride, I just encourage you, you got to log in every day. You can't expect it to do something that you're not doing as well. Okay? We got to have some accountability here. You got to drive traffic in. You got to drive it to your website. And you got to log in every day, or it's not going to do anything for you, whatever the way you decide to go. So I'm saying welcome, my hope. I'm looking forward to working with you. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. We have lots of options for you. We're going to continue to develop the product in a way that gives you a competitive edge in your marketplace. And I'm going to say thank you. And without knowing for sure, because I'm not in the EXP world at this particular second, hopefully everyone's okay. Someone can let me know. Great. If not, I'm going to shut this down and get you all back to your day. Hold on one sec. Where is my EXP world? There it is. Okay. All right, folks. Have a good one out there. Appreciate you.